Hey YouTube, Alex here with Alex's Agamids, and I apologize if the audio is kind of wonky, but in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I'm going to be revamping a setup for a yellow tree monitor. As you guys know, I'm doing an internship over the summer at the Reptile facility in Indianapolis, Indiana, and they breed and work with a lot of amazing and rare reptiles, one of which are tree monitors. Without further ado, let's clean out this cage and revamp it with some nice enrichment, some more climbing opportunities, and overall create a better environment which provides for this yellow tree monitor's welfare.
Alrighty, so the first thing you can see here is I am removing all of the substrate within the enclosure. Pretty straightforward, but I wanted to make sure you guys could see this.
So what I've done now is we've taken all the substrate out and I power washed the sides of this. So we've got water at the bottom. We're gonna shop vac this shit out, and then all of this is gonna get redecorated and look freaking awesome. Using the shop vac, pretty much what I did is I drained all this water out. This is not dirt, this is just staining on the cage because this cage is really old. There's lattice on the back which allows these tree monitors to really grip. We've got some PVC tubing hides up top. We have a 100 watt ZoomEd PowerSun Mercury vapor lamp, and then to accommodate for visible light and UVB, we have a 48-inch Arcadia 14% Dragon D3 lamp because of the distance that this is at. And if you look, there is a mist king that I set up so that way this enclosure gets misted 3 times a day. Tree monitors like really high humidity, but at the same time, they don't want to be damp and wet. So we need an enclosure with decent ventilation, such as those screen sections for our UV lights, but then at the same time, something that can maintain and deal with the humidity, which is in the case, the plastic cage. So what I'm gonna be doing now is we're gonna get new substrate in here, which will allow these tree monitors to nest. And then we're gonna get some cork flats and cork tubes all throughout here. So now that the cage is completely cleaned out, we're gonna get our base substrate down. What we're going to be using in this mix is primarily sand and organic topsoil. And the reason for that is because we are going to pair up this female yellow tree monitor in the future. So we wanna provide a nice substrate for her to nest in. As you can see, these are some more of our monitors. In fact, this is our whole monitor room. I apologize for the mess since I've been working in here. And so this room gets really hot. And that's a crucial thing with monitors, is especially the tree monitors, they need to have a warm enough soil to feel comfortable to lay eggs in. So the fact that this room stays around 82, 84 degrees, by maintaining a deep layer of sandy organic topsoil, that'll allow that girl to feel safe, to nest, and do all of her things that she wants to do when the time comes for her to lay eggs.
So here I am mixing the sand, soil, and cypress. Pretty much the idea is to make a nice even mixture so the tree monitor can nest in it.
Alrighty guys, so all of the substrate is mixed, but this will ensure that our female yellow tree monitor that's going in here has plenty of room to dig. Now the fun part, we're gonna turn this boring display into something awesome. We're gonna start getting our cork bark pieces, start planning out where we wanna place things, and we're gonna go from there. Starting to get some ideas pieced together. We had a massive order of cork come in. So like we've got some of these really nice cork branches just to provide different textures and stuff for these monitors to climb on. What I've done too is I've taken a drill and I've drilled holes where I can attach a zip tie to the lattice. So now, especially like I said, since we do plan on breeding, when you're breeding and cohabiting any lizard, giving visual barriers, sure, they could each hide in here, but the last thing we need is for both of them wanting to hide in this tube or that tube. So by giving more options, it'll prevent them from competing with each other. The idea is they just want to cohabitate peacefully, and at the same time we want to make sure we're providing everything that these lizards want. So cork tubes like this, which they can slip in and just sleep in, as well as the PVC. But overall, I'm thinking this is going to be a pretty nice looking setup when finished, and I'm definitely hoping that these tree monitors will be quite happy.
So here's just a time lapse of me getting the cork pieces situated, screwing the zip ties in, and combining everything to the lattice.
Alrighty guys, so here's the finished product. As you can see, what I've done is that we went from 2 black PVC hides to 7 total hides. This will allow these animals to thrive. It gives them different angles and textures to hide in. I really like these shorter cork tubes because there's actually 3 entrances. They can actually go out and then go directly into that tube. So it's sort of making them work their brain, figure out how everything works and connects. With monitors, as you can see, I've just got some fake plants. Their claws are so sharp, guys. It's pretty much impossible to do live plants with monitors. I'm sure there are those that have had success, but most of the tree monitor forums that I have read, and even with keepers that I have talked to that keep and breed tree monitors, they tend to do a little bit more of a naturalistic setup, just using natural bark and then some fake foliage. With that in mind, guys, I'm gonna get the glass back on here and we can introduce our tree monitor. Alrighty, guys. So in my hand here is our yellow tree monitor, Varanids reisingeri. This is our female. She was actually captive born and bred here in the United States. These guys look a lot like the green tree monitor or Varanids prasinus, and they can actually be confused also for the Biak tree monitor or Varanids cordensis, but this is in fact the yellow tree monitor. This is a much rarer species, but nonetheless a really awesome animal. So I don't want to stress her out too much. I'm gonna get her in her enclosure and we can let her roam around and explore. And there we go. Shut the door to make sure she doesn't run out. So let's see what she's going up to. New smells, new sights. I apologize if the glass is dirty. These guys do like to get up close and personal. And there you have it, guys. So that right there is how you set up a tree monitor enclosure, specifically in this case for a yellow tree monitor, Varanids reisingeri. Each species of tree monitor will have different needs. For example, we set up our blue trees a little bit differently. Same with our prasinus, our cordensis, and our black trees. So make sure whenever you're keeping a tree monitor, you do this specific research on the species you're keeping. Each monitor has a little bit different needs than the next, but overall, the arboreal setup is pretty much the same, which is why I'm making this video. Until then, I'm Alex with Alex's Agamids. This is the beautiful yellow tree monitor here at Reptile, enjoying her new enclosure, and I'll catch you in the next video. Adios.